Hello, welcome. My name is Kim Searle and I'm the author of Midlife is Not a Crisis, Rediscover Your Drive and Reclaim Your Happiness. I wanted to talk to you today about the big questions that may lead people to realise that they're going through either a midlife crisis or just a massive change in their lives, and that can happen at any age, from 20 right the way through to our 80s. Have you ever asked yourself some of the typical big questions of who am I? What am I doing? How have I got where I am? And any question similarly will be an indication that you're reevaluating where you are. And I'm here to tell you it's not entirely your fault. But now it is your responsibility to take control and sort things out. And I want to just give you an indication of how you've ended up where you are. When you're born, you're like a blank piece of paper. You know nothing and you're just here to learn. And you absorb everything. They say that the first 5 years of a person's life is when they do the most learning. And what happens is that the brain takes in information all the time, 24/7, non-stop absorbing information, even when you're asleep. And what it does with that information in its basic terms is process it into what was good for you and what wasn't. And there are a number of other filters which I won't go into today, but that is the essence of what it's doing. So if you have an experience, there will always be some sort of emotional attachment to it to give an indication to you whether it's good or it's bad. And the bigger the experience, the bigger the emotional attachment. So one of the examples I give for these sorts of experiences that can lead to emotional attachments is the example of a spider phobia. A small child is playing happily, just doing what they're doing, and somebody around them suddenly lets out a shriek because they've seen a spider. That is shocking to a small child who wasn't prepared for it and wasn't expecting it. As they look round, they see the source of the shrieking was a spider, and by then they take on that belief that the spider is scary. So consequently, each and every subsequent in time that they come across a spider, they are building on that initial experience of that was shocking, that was not good. And for some people that can keep going until they develop a phobia. Whereas for others, it's a one-off and it doesn't matter for them because they felt safe enough for whatever reason. So we all process differently. And equally, if it's a good event, something that was really good fun. So for example, going on a roller coaster with your one of your parents and really, really loving it. And what that means is that you're happy to be going out and, being at heights and doing other more, scary roller coaster rides because it was fun. And we learn, and we consistently learn as we go through life. And what the brain is doing, because it needs to keep you safe, is to free up time so that it can do what it needs to do by making things simple. And it files them a bit like a filing cabinet into the various different sorts of experiences so that you don't have to relearn every time. Let me give you an example. Every time you come across a door, you don't have to think that it's a door. You know it's a door, even if it is in a different shape, a different colour, opens slightly differently, whether it slides, opens forwards or backwards, you know a door is a door. Your brain is learning things so that it can automatically do things in the future. So what does that mean? It means you're building habits, and some habits are really good and others are not so good. So how many of you remember being rewarded with sweets or cakes when you were younger because you've been good or because something not so good had happened and it was a way of, placating you, soothing you? Suddenly you've got a habit set up so that when you're older, you don't even know where that habit came from and you just know you've got it. So what does this all mean for you? Well, I guess that what I'm saying here is that if you've got something in your life right now that's not working for you, so in the examples I've given, you've got a spider phobia or you've got, a problem with eating, the chances are this was conditioned and programmed in your early life. And I'm going to say early because it could come in during the teens, because teens is a really challenging time for everyone. We're all learning and growing and understanding who we are. But the roots of it started much earlier, probably. And what that means for you is that you have no idea you're just doing the same things day in and day out. And because you are, they seem normal to you and natural. What I do in my book is I start to help people unpick what it is that's causing them a problem. And in fact, a lot of my work working with clients is exactly that. It's understanding what's not working, the root of it. Because once we clean that up, we let it go, actually, it just has such an impact on your life. If you want to download my book, go to www.kimsearle.co.uk and download my book and have a look at that and see whether that can help you. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.